Welcome to session 66 of the Sphere of Power campaign. Cleanliness is next to godliness. All right. Ruins of the Lost City of Phoenix have so far proven to be a collection of tricks and jokes meant to amuse those who once visited these ancient structures. But the frivolity of these distractions seems to be waning as the party makes its way through the now submerged passages. Though the mazes of light and darkness seemed innocent enough, stepping through the portal between the two has left an emotional scar on all of them. The immediacy of life or death in that moment that each of them stepped through, knowing that could have been their final action, has reminded them all of how fortune could turn on them at a moment's notice and without their awareness. Warnings in the area beyond has only reinforced their subservience to the intersection of destiny and chance. A room that appeared to once be some kind of library was found to contain an ancient brass oil lamp, which turns out to be some kind of vessel for the spirit named El Tarifa. After agreeing to help him clean up the mess that has been left in this room, he has agreed to perform one act of kindness for them and returns to his lamp. But while doing so, the party discovers the western wall is made of faux stone blocks as light as sponges, which were easily dismantled to reveal yet another area with a skull on the west wall, which also opened to a large open area to the north. The skull allowed view through its orifices to the room beyond, but contained a stark warning about doing so. The area to the north, richly decorated with a highly polished marble floor, proved to be a dance hall. Not only did music start playing as each person entered the room, but it was quickly determined that dancing was the only way to cross through the room unhindered by imbalance and shifts in gradient. All right, what I have not already pre-written up is that you did manage to go around the corner, since you don't walk through skulls, and investigated the room beyond, and determined you were warned that it was a trap. So you were very, very cautious, and through careful prodding and a little time spent, I believe it was Kaylee that discovered that the room was actually hinged about halfway through, running north to south. And once you passed the halfway mark, the room began to tilt downwards, revealing a passage or a pit below, which this is where I didn't have a chance to fully catch up on. But I do know that you guys determined that the once opening it and getting stuck down there, you were going to be stuck there for 24 hours. But I don't recall how you propped open the room or if you did.
The brothers held it open while Redruth and I flew down to the to see what was down there, and then when we were done, we came back up, and the brothers let go, and the floor locked itself in place.
Right. And before you came up, there was a passage down there that you two did discover, which we described as being uncomfortably tight, perhaps even preventative for the Goliaths to pass through, but about perfect size for a dwarven character to fit through, or
weasel,
or yeah.
Yes, or a shapeshifter who has both cats of various sizes and a weasel.
The advantages of being a druid. Well, one of the used advantages of being a druid. Druid who can't talk to animals. Jeez.
Who's that mean?
No, we're not talking about you, Miz. Nah. All right. So, that being said, we are. I guess would help if I brought up the map. Nope. One map area for the viewers at home. All right. So you guys are kind of spread out. We've got Mizram and Kaylee back in the dance floor at this point, but you're right up against the wall, so you don't really need to be dancing at the moment. We have the two brothers, I guess, jumping up and down on the floor to see if they can actually get it to give way after it's been locked. And we have Redreth and Fekish still back in the room that was exposed by the false wall. And that's about where you guys are at the moment.
Yeah.
And yes, it is close to midnight, but most of this campaign, you guys have been living a nocturnal lifestyle. So it's about midday for you. I guess the next thing that wouldn't hurt would be to reread the descriptions of each of the rooms. So, all right, starting with the room that Fekish and Redreth are in. This room is furnished in Spartan yet comfortable chairs and stools. The right-hand wall is pierced by 2 doors, but the room is dominated by the huge carving of a skull in the opposite wall. The carving is as tall as the wall itself, and so deep that it reveals the room beyond through the eye sockets and nose hole. Above the carving, runes reform to read, "Death to all who enter here." Through the carving of the skull can be seen an empty room, completely devoid of any markings save the brown stain on the opposite wall, just above the floor. Now, that room is where the Goliaths are. And, damn it. Where did I just go? Sorry, I over scrolled. There we go. All right, so it points out that this room is empty. It points out that the carving is also duplicated now on your left-hand side. So matching, who did we just lose? There's Alvy. Looks like Dan fell off.
Oh man.
There we
he
go.
is.
Yeah. He must have walked too far away.
No, my son's calling me on my cell phone and I use that for Zoom. I told him he can walk his happy butt out to the garage and not interrupt my game. Anyway, were you guys asking me a question or just because I dropped?
No, we heard someone drop off. I'm like, who did we lose? And I'm like, oh, it was Dan. And then you log back in. So good timing.
All right, we're good.
Yeah. All right. So, but yeah, I was reading through the description. So I'm in the room where you and your brother are. And it's basically empty. There's just a mirror of the skull carving in the opposite wall. And of course, the brown stain on the wall next to where you two are currently standing. And then finally, the description for the ballroom, which you guys, again, have already pretty much figured out. As soon as any light enters this enormous room, long hanging crystals that extend from the ceiling reflect it, giving full illumination. So the room is kind of self-lighting. The roof reaches 50 feet above the highly polished floor, and the walls are heavily adorned with frescoes of dancing nymphs, satyrs, and other legendary beasts. To the right, a dais raised 6 feet above the floor and topped with a stonework screen that extends to the ceiling. A small set of stairs to the left and right of the dais connects it to the main floor. 3 doors open in the opposite wall. So basically, this place looks like a movie theater without the seats. And as we already determined, you guys have figured out that as you walk on the floor, it starts bouncing around on you and you'll lose your balance or fall down unless you dance across the floor.
Doing the MC hammer across the floor.
Hey, you know, whatever form of rhythm you prefer. Can't touch this.
Yeah.
All right. Did I leave anything out or any questions on what you perceive? And once again, my apologies for the lack of detail on this map.
Covers it for me. I think I want to. Can you designate which wall? So it's like a movie theater. Is it sloped like a theater?
No, it does not
Does-
slope like a theater. It is flat in this area to the left of the dais. So you'll see my mouse moving around in the shared Zoom screen, so you can see where I'm pointing to. It'll be a lot faster than me
Yep.
trying to draw stuff.
Gotcha.
All right, so this area is all flat. This is the dance floor. These are the stairways up to the dais. And so the screen is set up on this eastern wall here.
Okay.
These are the three openings in the opposite wall that was referred to at the end of the description. And then the trap room, the entry room, and of course the ballroom.
Kind of want to view the back wall, so I'm gonna waltz my largeness
La da dee,
here.
la da da, la da dee 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 dee, la da 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 da.
Let's see. Would this be perception or investigation?
Well, what are you trying to do? Are you just looking over the area, or are you closely investigating it, looking for niches? And
Closely investigating, pushing on any indentations, seeing if I feel any impressions.
yeah, generally perception is something I will tell you guys to roll, or will roll for you if I really don't want it to be obvious. If it's something that you're actively choosing to do, 90% of the time it's going to be investigation.
Okay.
Okay. And you do not find anything unusual about this side of the wall.
Okay. Let somebody else give her a go.
And I will point out, it does seem pretty solid. We're smart enough, like, hey, that one wall was, made of fake blocks that, you could lift on it with a pinky. So yeah, this one's not one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next in line.
Ark's interested in the wall with the brown stamp. I'll take a look at that one.
All right, so that's right next to where you're standing right now. And apparently it's just part of the trap. You guys did investigate that earlier, and it's just
Okay.
meant to draw people's attention to that side of the room, so it would cause the floor to tilt.
To activate. Okay.
To be honest with you, it doesn't appear to be much more than an animal wiping its butt against the wall.
Nice.
All right.
Fortunately, it's not recent, so it doesn't affect the odor in the air. But yeah, that side of the floor definitely seems pretty damn secure at this point. It's not going anywhere right now.
I think I'm going to, if I can switch windows, I'm going to fly over here and take a peek.
All right. All right, so I'm gonna have to ad hoc slightly here. So a long, narrow corridor extends into, I guess, into the darkness to the left, because the only light right now coming into the room is from is through the three openings. And it's not blinding, but the crystal and the effect of the crystals in the roof of the ballroom provide amazingly a very potent and very uniform light source throughout the room, regardless of where any torch or other flame or light source is carried within it. For us, even for us, it would be an impressive feat of engineering and light management. So it's streaming through the wall, through the openings into the hallway, and as such, the darkened areas appear very, very dark because they're highly contrasted, and your eyes have adjusted to the much brighter room. Across the hall to your east, and they did it to me again. I'm sorry. Oh no, okay. Yeah, they did it to me again. All right, so there actually is a doorway. Let me go ahead and draw that door for the moment. No, not that. All right, you know what? Doesn't look like that, but that's where the door is. It's of wood bound with iron with the latch on the left and the hinges behind the door to the right, as shown by the large reinforcing straps riveted to the door on that side. The door appears to push open to the right. This looks very similar to the other door that gave you some difficulty getting into this building. You guys remember that one?
No.
Yeah, a little bit. That's,
Yeah, basically, as I say, it looks the same as that door, but you had to actually depress the latch and then push it slightly
Oh, yeah.
on that one side so that you could get a gap on the other side to pull it open, because it was actually hinged on the opposite side it appeared to be hinged on.
So push
So
me,
everything
pull me
about
door.
that door operated in reverse.
Well, basically, I'll hop up and down in weasel form, point toward the door, see if anyone noticed me, and then realize I'm so tiny and go, "Ah."
And this is an argument why playtesting new maps should really be done.
Oh, where's the fun in that?
Well, you guys become the play testers, and so not all the surprises come when they're supposed to.
Sorry, I had to get down from the ladder. So Ms. is trying to let us know there's a door.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna try to go. I'm gonna see if there's anything. I'm gonna dance my way to the other side and check this area now.
What's your dance style?
This time I'm doing the moonwalk.
nice.
Invoke his spirit. Billie Jean's not my love.
I love.
Don't do that.
It's not my son.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
so
say it's the weirdest thing ever.
to those of us of the modern era, yeah, this looks very much like a movie theater. It's some kind of screen up there that presumably had different images on there, but it's very, very smooth. It's very, very consistent. It's not made of fabric. It is made of stone, so it's not going anywhere. It's not going to be ripped or anything else like that. And as far as you can tell, it's pretty damn solid, so there does not appear to be anything beyond it.
So if that was the dance floor, maybe is that a stage? Is it this raised or lowered?
That's 6 feet above the rest of the floor.
6 feet above.
Yes.
Okay, so this was the platform where the band played.
Presumably, yes.
Okay. All right. I'll follow with Ms. and Kaylee.
Okay.
This
Mark will
time
stay
I
with his
am
brother.
going to. This time I am going to Charleston.
Following
I
lead.
don't know. I don't know how that's going to work because it's a step forward and then a step back, but it's going to work. Every time I move forward, I take a large stride.
Well, the moonwalk, you were going backwards anyway, too. So I guess it's consistent. You get to put on a
Perfect.
show as you're looking at your partners. See, I got this. I got this. All right. So Kaylee, are you you're investigating the door, presumably? Alex, are you on mute or did we lose you?
Oh, apparently I was muted.
That'll-
Yes, I'm investigating the door. Did you get my roll?
Yes, I got your roll. That's why I'm asking what you were
Okay.
investigating. So confirming the target.
Yes, I'm
All right,
investigating the door.
you're familiar with the previous door. You know, it
Mhm.
looked like one thing and you had to do exactly the opposite. So you're kind of expecting that with this door, right?
Mhm.
So you're looking at this door and going, okay, I probably have to push down on the latch and push on the other side. And you're not actually doing it, but as you're looking at the mechanisms and looking for the tricks that allow that to happen, you're pretty convinced they're not present on this door. This looks like a normal door. So either it is a normal door or someone doubled down on the ruse.
Okay. Okay, in that case, I will see if I can open the door.
Lo and behold, the door opens normally.
Lies.
Okay.
So as you push the door open. All right, so my apologies. This room is kind of weird. And the depiction on the map is really my best attempt to do so and is not necessarily accurate. So please pay attention to the verbal description. First of all, as you open the door, you notice immediately in front of you an 18-inch square platform. It's at the top of a slide, which spirals counterclockwise downward. There is room for only you on that platform. And if anyone else comes through that door, you're either going to need to take flight with your ring or you're going down that slide, which would be to your right.
Well, seeming as how she can fly anyway, having her go down that
Forgetting
slide
that I
would not be a
put
bad thing.
myself on mute. I keep putting myself on mute so you don't have to hear me cough, and then I forget that I'm muted.
Oh, well, thank you for sparing us the cough.
Given that I haven't actually set foot on the floor, anyone stepping in behind me will probably just, push me aside. But how high is the ceiling? Hello? Am I disconnected?
No, you're still
Am I
connected.
coming?
I had to mute myself. Sorry about that. I
Okay.
had a phone call come in, but fortunately I didn't have to take it.
Ah. Okay, so yes.
All right, so I'm sorry. Please repeat yourself a third time on that. I did hear the part that you're not stepping onto the platform. I got that.
How high is the ceiling?
They don't think they provided detail on that either. Let me double check. Let's see.
They might not. This is generally considered a two-dimensional game.
Well, they do like to mention ceiling heights in some instances, but not consistently.
Not all of them. Yeah.
I am going to say, for the sake of reasonableness, that there is enough room for you to float above any of your normal companions, but probably not enough room for you to float above the Goliaths were they to step in.
So if I needed to float above the Goliath, I'd have to do some contortions. Okay, got it.
And not that you wouldn't be able to avoid them, but you'd have to
Yeah.
kind of stick to, cling up against a wall or maybe latch onto the ceiling in order to give them room, or they'd have to duck down a little bit so they're not bumping into you. But we'll say that there's enough
Yeah.
clearance for you to float above any of the other characters without hitting the ceiling.
Okay. Awesome. So, okay. In that case, I think.
Want to make sure the Goliath's height remains a factor in the game,
Yes, it needs to, because we are not, in fact, 5-foot cubes.
No, we are not.
Even if the game
They
mechanics
may
are
be
written-
blocks, but they're not 5-foot cubes.
Yes. Even if the game mechanics are written to treat us as 5-foot cubes, we are not 5-foot cubes. All right. I think I'm going to I'm gonna glance back at Haig and Mizram and shrug and float in and start seeing where the slide goes.
Varric, shall we bring you up to where your brother is? Or are you still hanging out, jumping up and down on the trap floor? Waiting for
Nope, I followed Hank.
Okay,
I followed Hank.
I'll bring you. up.
Okay. You
Oh,
know what?
wait- oh, wait a
I think
minute.
I am going.
Varric, what's your dance style getting across the floor?
Shit. I'll start like I'll try and do a moonwalk, but I'm not quite as good as Hank.
Don't quite pull it off as well, huh?
Yeah. Just doesn't look as smooth.
You're not the one with the rhythm in the family.
Exactly.
All right, so he's up there next to his brother, Jim. I am going to. I guess he's going to stay close to Fekish for now, since he's staying in the back, and I don't want to leave him completely unprotected. He certainly is not your rear guard. So, Albie, what's Fekish doing? Is he hanging out in the room still, or are you moving up to the rest of the crew?
Yeah, I'll move up to the rest of the crew.
All right, dance style.
Jig.
Alright.
No one did mosh pit. I'm surprised.
You need people for a mosh pit, though. Otherwise, you just look stupid.
I guess you might have a point there, though. You know, if you try to launch yourself into something that's not there, it might be a fast way across.
This is true, too.
Yeah, I didn't think windmilling my arms across the floor would have worked.
So I'm
wouldn't that have
going
been
to
Wouldn't that have been the Wonder Woman style?
100%.
all right. I'm going to indicate to the others that they probably should not follow me because if they do, they'll probably pass me. And then I'm going to float and see where the slide goes. My hands are currently busy with crochet. If somebody wants to move my token, I'm not quite sure which direction the slide points either.
Counterclockwise, so to your right, it goes downward.
Okay. So I am going, slowly enough that it's, a very controlled descent.
So as I said, I had a very difficult time coming up with a 2D representation for this. So basically, you've got multiple spirals, multiple levels going down and down and down. So really that offshoot is not quite there yet. You're going to have
Okay.
a couple of rotations before you finally see that offshoot at the bottom. And the area in
Okay.
the center is solid. It's not open. So once she passes about that point, you guys don't see her anymore.
Okay. So I'm gonna go down several levels apparently.
And the other thing
now-
also is that the walls and everything are not very detailed or textured. So you really have a tough time determining just how far you've gone.
Okay.
So for the sake of making it easy, we're not going to throw anything at you while you're in here. But you're going to guess you went somewhere around 5 to 6 full revolutions before you finally reach the bottom and find that offshoot going to the west.
Okay. So is the offshoot also angled like the slide?
No, it's flat at that point.
Okay. So that offshoot represents the bottom of the slide. Okay. Going to take a quick peek down it and see if it looks significantly different than the slide, other than being flat and straight.
It looks much more like a passageway than a slide. In the sense
Okay.
that this is chiseled, or perhaps even set stone. But the
Mhm.
slide itself, even the edges where the walls meet the floor, have a curve to them.
Okay.
So, it's definitely been meant to be seamless. Now, that being said, there's also something unusual to your vision about the nature of
Mhm.
the floor. You can't quite put your,
Something seems off about the floor just by looking at it.
yes. I
Okay.
wouldn't say off, but there's definitely a difference to the texture of the floor between the straight area where you are now and the
Mhm.
gradient and curved floor. So the texture also seems to be different in addition to its shape and angle.
Interesting.
But it all does seem to be made out of the same material.
But they've been worked differently.
Correct.
Interesting. Okay. Let's okay, so we're gonna go all the way back up to the top because we can.
And that's going to probably
Thank-
take you about,
Magic items.
you're probably gone for about 20 minutes by the time you return back up.
Okay. And then I'm going to let everybody know that it goes down for a while, and if they go down without some help, it very well could become uncontrollable by the time they get to the bottom. And then I'm going to ask Mizram if he wants to come with me and scout a little further
How far down?
down at the bottom. I will give you my best estimate. I don't remember what was said, but far enough that it.
Conceivably, you could rope somebody off as they go down to help control their ascent. Or
If we had
descent.
enough rope,
Well, like I said, how far down?
I don't remember what Keith said, but Kaoli would have an estimate for you.
Yeah, vertically, you're probably only talking about 50 to 60 feet, but because of the incline and the way that it is, you'd probably need about 1,000 feet of rope to go around that many times.
Got it. Okay.
We don't have that much.
Yeah, as I said, the area in the center is solid, so there's no straight way down. You've got to take the slide, or at least the path of the slide.
Well, to answer
Now,
Kaoli's
Out
question,
of curiosity, and Ms., this might be you, who's the first one behind her that's like watching her go down the slide?
I'm definitely obviously watching.
All right, so I'm going to move you right to the edge, Ms., if you don't mind. Now go ahead. And what were you going to ask?
I'm gonna say yes. When she comes back to carry me down, I'll do my little weasel hand thing, like to be picked up like a child.
Pick me up.
Awesome.
The Grogu move.
Yeah.
All
Awesome.
right.
I will pick up Mizram and set him on my shoulder and bring him back down to the bottom with me.
Put your head on my shoulder. Sorry, I have to do all the cheesy musical references today.
Well, if I could sing with that kind of deep voice, then I'm gonna be one famous weasel.
Mizram, the Weasel Crooner.
Yeah.
All right, so it takes you another probably, about 7 to 10 minutes for the two of you to get down there. You're actually maybe more like 5 minutes because you're a little more sure of where you're going this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they disappear out of sight for a little bit, leaving the two brothers, Fekish and Redrith up top. Anyone else stepping onto the platform or peering over the ledge? All right,
I
so you
mean, if
guys,
we were told not to, Varric would stay back.
well, you were
What are you
told not
thinking
to
about that?
follow. It didn't mean that you guys couldn't watch. So, but
Oh yeah, definitely gonna watch
poking
because
your
like
head through
this
the
is
door.
reminded.
I'm just basically trying to figure out who's the closest one to the edge, if it becomes necessary.
Yeah, this is reminding Varric of when he and Haig went down that like water slide in the pyramid a long time ago.
That one was fun, but
Yeah,
it was a
he's like,
ride.
maybe
That was
this could
definitely
be
a
fun
ride.
too. So that's just what he's thinking. He's not gonna do anything stupid yet.
Yeah.
So Miz, in his weasel form, as you're being carried down the descent of this glissade, you do notice something or pick up something.
Oh, okay.
It's an odor. And it seems to permeate the whole thing. It's not overpowering, but it is definitely present throughout the whole distance of the slide. It's a smell of oil.
Oh,
Not necessarily petroleum oil, but a heavy, like an essential oil or something.
I think it is to make the path more slippy, so you slide down, so you gain speed, but you slide down.
Bingo.
Kinda, yeah.
Good job. The power of the animal olfactory.
Yes. All right. So, we are going to float down the passageway cautiously, keeping alert for anything that might jump out at us as well. That might jump out at me as potential trap trigger or mechanism. But aware that the entire slide itself is probably an elaborate trap. Like, just, the idea being that you step on the platform, the person behind you steps forward, knocks you off, and then you go sliding down
Yep.
unexpectedly.
And would be perfectly in line with the kind of amusements that you found so far in this place.
Yeah, not out of character. It does not seem like something that is necessarily intended to be entirely fatal, but certainly startling.
Mm-hmm. Not necessarily benign.
Right. So keeping an eye out for anything that looks like it could be a trap mechanism or trigger. I'm going to come down this corridor to, I guess, here where something changes.
Yeah, it opens up into another broad avenue like the other one that was adjacent to the other buildings. This is actually the exit from this rather large building.
Okay.
And across the way, you see an immense building of rose-colored stone. So again, I'm going to have to apologize. This is another aspect of the map that I had a hard time depicting. And so we're going to have to do theater of the mind through the next portion of this.
Okay.
So, but basically, yeah, there's a street in front of you that runs north and south at this point.
Okay. And given my general knowledge of basic physics, or rather Kaoli's general knowledge of basic physics, does it seem like it is intended that when people come shooting out of this passageway, they are not intended to smack and injure themselves against the opposite wall?
There does not appear to be any hard stop, but you would judge by the distance of the slide. And go ahead and roll a perception check. And this is a case where I'm going to have you roll perception. Okay. Oh, damn. You and your bonuses. So your roll normally would have been enough, but with your bonus it was. So what you do pick up on is that the slide itself seems to be substantially more steep at the top than it does at the bottom. So apparently it's meant to commit you to the slide, but is meant to give you an easy release at the bottom.
Okay, so it's not specifically designed to injure or kill people as they come shooting out the bottom. Okay.
Not, I wouldn't say not specifically, but not apparently.
Okay.
It doesn't blatantly look like some kind of trap that you're meant to roll into and smack yourself against. As a matter of fact, that you would even say that you could walk up the lower portions of the slide. The incline is that gradual, but by the time you reach the top, it is probably more than 45 degrees.
Okay.
So it's kind of like dropping into a half pipe.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna look at Ms. and silently ask him if if we should go back up to the top and get the others, or if we want to do more scouting out here first.
I will look at you in the eyes and then signal to do a little bit more scouting before we get the others, just to make sure it's 100% safe.
Okay. So we will pop out here, and it looks like we might be either that's another building line of sight, or we might be at the edge of the map.
Yeah, well, like I said, you're at the edge of this map, but in terms of what you see, basically the street does extend to the north and south for a little bit before it gets blocked off by piles of sand, which extend to the cavern ceiling. What does stand out is what you should see. Basically here, probably a little larger than that, is an immense building of rose-colored stone. It faces the avenue and rises to the sand above. Mountains of sand and rubble sweep around the building from both sides, but the three main doors in the center are still open. So there are three doorways in the center through which you can pass, and they're doorways. They're not blocked off.
Okay, so they're open doorways rather than closed doors.
Correct. And
do they have doors hanging in them, or are they just open doorways?
They just appear to be archways for the most part.
Okay, so there does not. I do not notice any doors.
Is slightly taller and wider than the two on the sides.
Okay. I'm gonna get a little closer and see what else I can see. Unless Mizram hops down, he's probably still, on my shoulder or something.
Okay.
Come a little bit closer, you. Right.
Perfect. All right. So presumably you're looking beyond the archways. You want to see what you see inside there, right?
Yeah. And if I have to, I'm not quite sure if the building is circular like your pointer, or if it's more rectangular. But I would be cautiously approaching.
It is a rectangular building. It probably runs about 100 feet, 150 feet on your side. It could extend further beyond the sand dunes that have buried it. And obviously you can't tell how deep it runs at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Did you have a question?
No.
Okay. So beyond the archways, open onto a long gallery about 10 feet wide that runs north to south. It extends almost the entire length of the building and stands 10 feet off the main floor. Stairways down to the main floor terminate the gallery on either end, with domes filling the space to the end walls.
Okay.
And I guess there's a kind of railing between you and the main floor below that you would circumvent by taking the stairs at either end. Let me see if I can kind of draw a rough map of this. No, don't want to do that.
I'm trying to picture it in my head, and the description is not making sense to my brain at the moment. And I feel like it probably should, but given that, you know, I'm still in the process of, you know, waking up and haven't had food or water yet, my brain just doesn't want to cooperate.
Hold on 1 second. Let's see. Painting. All right, almost got it. Let's see if I can get the color right. Do something a little more visible. Hopefully that won't hurt too much. All right, so. All right, so this is roughly the galley.
All right.
You have 2 sets of stairs. One there. Stairs go down. In this direction.
Okay.
You know what? I probably have to turn off the mask or the lighting effects. There, now you can see what I'm drawing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that-
And then
and
the beyond that, so that's the level that that all 3 archways open onto.
So the size is not necessarily right, but this indicates that the open area that the galley overlooks.
Okay, which is you said 10 feet.
10 feet
Below.
above, 10 feet below the galley, correct?
Alrighty.
And you're not
so
you're not sure what's beyond on the galley. It's kind of dark in there, but you see glittering or reflection that you think might be pools of water or some kind of liquid.
Okay. So no. Okay. So that takes into account the dark vision.
It's primarily a distance factor, but yes.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, we're probably like,
Let's also keep in mind, liquids don't reflect dark vision the same way they do visible light.
correct. Correct. But you said it was difficult to see anything except those. So I just wanted to make sure that your description accounted for the fact that I have a little bit of dark vision.
True.
Not enough to see
To the
through
best
the
of my
entire
ability,
view.
you suspect there are some pools of liquid beyond. Exactly what the
Okay.
composition is, how big they are, how deep they might be. If it's actually a pool or just something wet, you don't know.
Okay. Yeah. And then, yeah. So I'm going to look at the weasel on my shoulder and ask, and, you know, just kind of with facial expressions and a few quick gestures, ask the weasel if we've done enough scouting for the moment, or if he wants us to like go inside or something.
I give you 2 weasel thumbs up for we done enough.
God, I want to see that animation.
And then in that case, then I will fly us back up the slide and give a more audible report to our companions about what the weasel and I have learned. And specifically, and make sure to give them warnings about about the slide and how steep it is at first, and how they probably won't kill themselves smashing against the opposite wall at the bottom, but it might sting.
And I'm gonna try to spare myself from doing this too much.
Clark's kind of interested in seeing what happens. I'm not gonna lie.
Just to let you all know, I'm imagining if you go down that slide, I'm imagining the scenario from Christmas Lampoon Vacation, where he greases up the sledge. You just break the sound barrier on the way down.
All right, it's a very poor representation, but those circles I just added are meant to represent what apparently are large floor to ceiling pillars that support the roof of the gallery.
Okay.
So whereas I said it was appeared to be a railing, as you're looking in and checking out, you can see that, you know, that they're full-size columns or pillars that extend to the roof and provide support for the area just beyond the door.
Okay.
And that's probably what's obscuring part of your view deeper in. So that's why
Yep.
like little reflections or like, yeah, there's a big area there. There's something over there that's reflecting. It looks like it could be water or wet, but that's about all you can tell.
Okay. All right, then I will, make my report to the companions at the top of the slide, and they now know somewhat of what to expect when they head down.
So the two,
you will probably get the impression that I am willing to attempt to help slow people down if you don't really want to risk slamming into the building at the other end at the bottom.
hold up,
I
Alex,
can't make any guarantees.
Alex, hold up 1 second. So
Okay.
before you actually come back, the two, Mizram, are you staying down there or riding back up with her?
I'm obviously running back up there with her on her shoulder.
Okay, so the both of you come back up. The two of them are gone for probably about another 10-15 minutes, a little less time than the first time. But between the first one and this one, you guys are, the rest of you have been kind of waiting up top about a little under an hour. You're getting a little impatient. And I would think the brothers are just like, screw this, let's go down the slide.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I've been thinking about it for a minute.
Yeah, I kind of figured you would. I
I had to get to my mute button. Actually, yeah, I've been thinking the same thing. Yeah.
So yeah,
like
you're getting to
the
that
idea of
point
going
where
to
that feeling is 100% appropriate for the two of you.
Boulder
What's their
Parks for
alignment?
cheers for who goes down first.
What is their
Yep.
alignment?
What is the what, Albie?
What is their alignment?
Oh, good question.
Lawful good for Varric.
Yeah, he's a paladin.
They would probably be more patient than somebody that's chaotic neutral.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Except I do believe Haig is.
I thought I was lawful neutral, but maybe not.
Neutral good.
You started that way.
There you go. Neutral good sounds about right.
Yeah, it does. And that means that, yeah, you are definitely subject to whim a lot more than your brother is.
Yeah.
would explain the dynamic between the two of you quite a bit.
Agreed.
He's the one always following the rules, and you're the one that kind of throws them into the wind more often than not. And quite often probably has to get you out of trouble because of it. Then, there's got to be some great boyhood stories from behind those. So that's for another time and place. So anyway, yeah, Haig definitely would be kind of more inclined to just be like, okay, screw this, hold my nose and jump.
Do it.
Thanks, Miz.
You're welcome.
So, are they still at the top, or do I meet them coming down?
I presume that they're still at the top when you get up there, but they're definitely impatient, and they're probably not too willing to go down one at a time at this point. They're like, there's nothing down there. It's a slide. You connect the dots.
Okay.
So
Well,
by the time
I-
you get up
I
there,
am-
they might just be like, oh, okay, it's safe. Bye.
Yeah, I am able to at least start giving them my warning about the slide, but I am also able to give them the report that well, you probably won't kill yourself coming off the slide at the bottom.
That's
and it
Varric's
doesn't
first
seem
question.
like there's-
Will we die?
And it doesn't seem like there's anything around to jump out and pummel you while you're vulnerable, getting as you climb back up to your feet. But yeah, and at that point, one or both of the brothers is just jumping down the slide.
Probably. I don't want to get my clothes all greasy if I know about the oil. So I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
sit on my
don't
shield.
think I don't think Mizran
Oh,
really
Miz saw that.
communicated
That's
that to me, and I didn't notice.
Okay. Okay.
So that's up to you to decide whether or not your characters would connect the dots with the general theme of this place. Kayla just doesn't worry about it because she can fly, and so far nothing has impeded that.
Also, you guys are wearing metal armor, are you not?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the smell of the oil would not even be noticeable to you because you use it regularly to maintain your
Yeah.
armor.
Yep. Cool. I'm saying I'm gonna look at Haig and say boulder parchment shears for who goes first.
I would not be surprised if he just shoved you down just to see what would happen.
Done. Shove.
That's
Rock,
just
paper,
the
shove.
dynamic that you guys have. And that's just the dynamic that you guys have displayed is that sometimes you'll, decide things, and sometimes one of you will start trying to decide things and the other one will just act.
I
I
don't
will
know.
ask
I'm
you,
totally
Alex, are
picturing
you-
the yawn move and the accidental push. Oh, sorry.
Alex, does Kaeli, if I were to glance at Kaeli, does she give me the little hand push gesture?
No. No, but if you glance at her and if you glance at her like with that should I look, she might raise an eyebrow at you.
Okay, raised eyebrow, Haig shoves.
Boulder parchment.
It's been done. It's been done. We're already
All
moving.
right, so Varric is now dropping off the edge of the half pipe, picks up speed pretty quickly. Dexterity check. Question is, are you sliding or tumbling?
He would have maintained. Yeah, he's probably going down on his back.
Well,
Maintaining
that's
himself,
what the
definitely.
dexterity
Oh,
check
the
will
dex
tell us.
check,
Are,
yeah,
are
yeah.
you maintaining control or are you at the whim of the slide?
Oh, crap.
Head first or feet first?
I feel like
If
he
he's being
pushed me, I'd
pushed,
be-
well, yeah, I
yeah.
guess how hard he would be pushed, whether or not he just lost balance or went head over heels.
Dan, can you run that dex check for me?
Oh, that's right. You're still not connected. Oh, and
Yeah, 1 second. Oh, I'm unmuted too. Sorry.
and I'm gonna have to give him control of the characters. Hold on a second. All right, you should have control of Varric now too.
Oh, there it is. Just a dex.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. This is one of those ones where you'll know right away. And I'd say based on that roll, it's head over heels tumbling down.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Don't.
And I'm not dexterous either. I'm not dexterous either, but I'm going to try to go on my feet.
Actually, that's a good point. Given that roll, he might have clumsily reached out to grab you, or you might have lost momentum. So yeah, you should make a dex check to see if you were following down behind him.
Okay.
I totally would have grabbed his hand as he pushed me.
If you
But
could.
like, oh shit. Yeah, right.
So let's see if he was able to avoid it or if he just was not expecting it.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. This is
Okay.
low enough that he probably would have not been able to grab you, but still establish contact. So the question, we're gonna do it one more time and see if you lose balance.
For Haig.
Just
Yep.
for Haig, yeah. So you were able
Come on,
to
luck.
avoid him grabbing you, but not him touching you.
All right, luck be a lady. Come on.
One.
Come on. Come on.
Ah, he keeps his balance. He stays up.
Damn.
Dude, I never keep my balance. I got a shitty dex. Woohoo!
Inconceivable.
And that was in character. My
I don't think you
woohoo
know
is in
what that
character.
word means.
Oh man, that's awesome. It never happens.
This time it did. All right. So meanwhile, Varric is now head over heels, tumbling down the slide. As I mentioned, the initial part of the slide is much steeper. Also, though the slide is oiled, which you can now tell as your face smushes into parts of it along the way.
And gaining
but
speed from gravity.
Unfortunately, over the decades or perhaps even centuries, the sand has kind of settled and collected on it. So it's more abrasive than lubricant at this point.
Ooh, kinky.
So regrettably, just along the way down, especially in your current mode,
Mhm.
you are going to take, you didn't do too bad. You're only going to take 2 points of damage from that.
Solid.
That's from the abrasion on the way.
Yep.
Now, however,
Wall.
I did not do that. Okay. In addition, though, the bottom finally coming to a rest. You've built up some pretty good speed at this point.
Mhm.
And so you are going to take. Actually, I would say it goes the other way around, but either way, you take a total of 7 points of damage between the fall itself and the abrasion.
Okay.
You still had concentration up for detect magic. So, well, yeah, I think it probably wore out anyway by now, but you're no
Yep.
longer detecting magic.
Yep. Makes sense.
All right. So, one of the Goliaths is down. Rest of you are now up top. The Ranger and the Druid have an easy way down, apparently. Oh, good question, Varric. How vocal was your descent?
Oh, like I was
Looney
picturing
Tunes.
like
I have visions of
Yeah,
Looney
Homer
Tunes at the
falling
moment,
down the
bouncing
hill.
against the wall, going, ooh,
Yeah.
I'm actually the goofy. Ah, hoo, 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 wee.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Initially it was that, and then it was just random curses and giant as he hit his face and like got oil and sand in his face. Yeah.
Son of a. So, yeah, you guys hear an assortment of expletives, curses, and grunts and moans echoing slowly into the distance as he disappears down the circular slide.
1 second.
Needless to say, his brother finds it probably quite amusing.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Now, I'll let the rest of you decide how you prefer to descend.
Haig jump in feet first as soon as his brother disappears around the corner.
that what you're doing?
Oh,
Nate?
we already did that. I thought that was the second thing to see if I keep my balance on my feet down the slide. Wasn't
Yeah,
that the
and you-
second
you-
roll?
No,
The
that's
second-
to see if you keep your balance on at the top when he grabbed you. To see if he knocked you off balance. And you
Yeah,
succeeded.
you
If he
haven't
did
gone
not knock
down
you
yet.
off balance. You jump in feet
Oh,
first.
so I just, oh, dang it. Well, I was thinking that I missed the grab and then the second roll was me because I said I was going to try to go down on my feet.
No,
Oh, I missed
yeah,
that. Okay, so then, yeah, you're choosing to go down on your feet. You have control at the moment. You're not being pushed. So you don't need to do a dexterity check. You are sliding down. However, you're still subject to the abrasive potential abrasive damage.
Okay.
So yeah, you get scraped up a little bit for about 3 points of damage, not much.
So I'm pulling the Deadpool. Stupid. Worth it.
Well, at least you didn't waste any ammo.
That's right.
All right, so we've got 2 Goliaths down at the bottom at this point.
he gets another point of damage as Hig punches him as he gets down there. Or Varric punches Hig.
Still worth it.
Bam.
Unarmed attack.
Okay, yeah, roll a D4 and have it. Oh, that's right. You can't roll it. All right, so yeah, one whole point of damage.
That's what I figured.
So is it Dex? Dex check?
Sorry, I forgot he can't roll it either. My bad.
No, dex check is not really necessary if you're not being pushed.
Ah, okay.
You can choose to go down head first, butt first, stomach first.
I can go butt first and I have a tail that helps me mitigate things, so
Yep, there's an argument for that then. You've got a built-in rudder.
yes. So, Mr. Smucker.
And actually your scaly skin protects you from the abrasion. So you're going to make it
Mr.
down
Smucker. Oh
unscathed.
my gosh. Let me just say I caught that and I get the reference.
Although I think the original quote is north, but
Okay. And I'm supposing that Redreth is going to come down. Are we guessing that Redreth is going to want to have fun on the slide, or is he likely to want me to, guide him and help him control his descent?
I'm going to say he's going to have some fun after the rest of them make it down without issue, as long as they have control. We're going to allow him to get down unscathed, though.
Okay. Because Kayla is watching these guys have fun on the slide, and she's like, I think I want to try that. So she's going to go up to the top, and she is going to slide down on her butt, with knowing that she has the option at any moment to push off and fly if she decides she doesn't like it.
With that in mind, you come up with an idea to take out one of your sacks, empty it into another container, and ride down the sack so that you don't get scraped up. So basically, you've just invented the modern day sack slide.
Okay.
And so you build up actually a pretty good amount of speed coming down. So she comes barreling through that tunnel and launches out of it like a shotgun. And you now all find yourselves standing in front of the large rose-colored stone building, the open galley that leads into a larger area. And with that, we are also halfway through. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to do my my regular rest session. We'll meet back here in 15 minutes. Does that work
Right
for
up.
everyone?
Yep.
15
Very
or
good.
so.
Sounds good.
15 or so. I may be a little late because, you know, I sat
Still
down
gotta
at my
walk the dog.
computer instead of, I sat down at the computer instead of doing the usual let's get out of bed things.
Ah,
So,
gotcha.
so
I
gotta
presume-
take care of a few things.
I presume the puppy wants to go out or eat or something like that.
Well, the roommates, the single dog that is in here belongs to one of the roommates. The other two are in a different room. And she seems to be content to sulk on the couch.
All right, well,
So,
that works.
all right. I'll be
All right.
back in 15, 20 minutes.
All right, we'll
Okay.
see you. We'll see
Gotta
everyone
lift
then.
up.
All right, so at this point, you guys are standing in front of that large building with the gallery beyond the archways. Well, we say it's about 70 feet tall, up to the ceiling. Yay, Miz, we got a full group back. All right. So what do you guys want to do? Who's moving on in?
Oops, I was on mute. I will if nobody else does.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like the sneaky should.
So yeah, I'm going to float in through probably the central opening. Hey, Miz, when I went down the slide, were you still on my shoulder?
Yes, I stayed on your shoulder all the way down and back up, and then back down again.
Okay. Okay, because we slid down the slide and it was fun.
So you would have seen my little wiggle hand go up in the air, go.
Yep, roller coaster style. All right, so I'm gonna float in here through probably the central opening, and drift over here and look down at the room below and see what I see.
The hell? Oh, there it is. Getting too many windows on my screen again.
I understand the feeling.
So, what light source are you using? Are you still relying on your dark vision?
At the moment, yeah, just
There
the
is definitely
dark
no,
vision.
there's no ambient illumination in this area.
Okay. So I really can't see much, if anything. Okay. In that case, let's see. Do I want to? No, I think I'm gonna poke
One
my
thing
head
you-
out.
One thing you do
ahead.
notice as you approach the area is
Mhm.
that it is vast and it is an acoustical area. You hear echoes from all around, even from the slightest footsteps.
So I can hear echoes of me breathing, but since I'm gliding above the floor with my ring, I'm not actually making footsteps.
Good point. But yeah, even so, yeah, there's enough echo in the space that just coming into the area, you can have a sense of where the walls are and how big it is.
Okay. So
Kinda like
because
walking
there's
into
really
a darkened amphitheater.
yeah, because there's not really anything to see with my dark vision, I'm gonna poke my head out and I think I'm gonna ask to borrow a light source.
Not the ranger.
Pshaw.
I don't really have much in the way of light sources because I don't usually use them. And this is you know, you guys are probably all looking at me like, what? Because I don't like light sources.
You prefer to stay incognito. Why draw attention to yourself if you don't have to?
Yeah.
Does anybody have
So,
the
yeah.
light cantrip? Cast it out.
Yeah, red dress will probably just be like, I see you all come to me again for my light source, eh? Eh?
Uh-huh. Dancing lights.
So is Red Dress going to join me inside and cast a cantrip, or is somebody going to hand me a torch or the sun sword?
I think that would be perfectly appropriate for him to do. So hold on a second. I'm going to
Okay.
do a little something here. Hold on a second.
He would definitely come in with a pompous air and go, I see you need my help again. Looking down his nose at everybody.
Tokens are disappearing. Do you have another map to put us on? Fun.
This is about as low res as it gets, folks.
Okay.
Should be quick to load though.
Yeah. Yeah. This looks about right. This looks about right. It's very fancy.
Hey, put together on the fly. All right, so
Hey, it looks good. It looks good. It's probably better than anything I would draw.
the only thing I will point
wouldn't-
out is that the three blue
Sure.
circles that you see, which represent columns, there are a set of three identical ones on the far side of the pink boxes. I'll explain what they all are in a moment.
Okay.
So, and yes, so let me move Redreth in over to where he's nearby you. And lighting, add light. I'm gonna put one up here. Do you see any of these? No, you don't. All right, bummer. That would have been nice. All right, so let's try this. Just a second. I'm messing around with something. No. All right, no, that ain't gonna work. We're just gonna go with these. So he gets what, 4 of them or 5 of them? Anyone remember?
4 or 5
I
or
think
what?
he gets 4. He gets 4 that can go out to 120
Oh, I'm still
feet.
unmuted. Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
it's 4. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to. I think each of his 4 lights has to stay within like 20 feet of the next, and the furthest away they can get is something like 120 feet from him.
All right. They also provide damage too. How they have to be within 20 feet of each other?
Let me check. Let me look it up.
So I'm thinking of putting them in where those 4 yellow circles are, unless limits prevent it.
Yeah. So the furthest they can. A light must be within 20 feet of another light created by this spell, and a light winks out if it exceeds the spell's 120-foot range.
That should cover it mostly, I think. Yeah.
Okay. And it is concentration. So I don't know if you want to throw the concentration effect on him or not.
Yeah, we'll get that set up. So let's see.
Okay.
Redreth.
So now there's a little bit of light. Each light only sheds.
There's no details for it to really illuminate. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It doesn't need to. Each light sheds dim light in a 10-foot radius, but it's enough to give me a little bit of something to see.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Actions. Dancing lights. All right. So he's got dancing lights up. We've indicated where they are on the map. Now we can move forward with the description. All right. 3 sets of pillars, the blue circles, 2 feet in diameter. Remember, there's another set on the opposite side of the boxes that support a vaulted roof that rises 70 feet from the floor. The base of each of these columns is a tub filled with soil and the shriveled remnants of trees. A row of pillars, each one ornately carved to represent legendary beasts and equipped with 4 oil lamps, support the gallery just inside the main entry. A colonnade and gallery, identical to that on the east wall where you are, runs along the west wall. Sand is poured in the archway to the east, piling onto the gallery and spilling onto the main floor. So the archways on the opposite side are not open. They are filled with sand. Set into the floor between the columns are 4 large depressions, attesting to the building's use as a public bath. Those are the pink boxes. Around the pools are marble benches. The benches are what were reflecting the light that you noticed earlier, Kaylee.
Okay.
4 domed rooms, each about 20 feet high, 20 feet wide, 10 feet deep, and 10 to 15 feet high, stand in the corners of the building at the ends of the colonnade. Beside each is a stairway to the gallery above. So the stairways are not depicted, but the entrances to each of the rooms kind of are in each of the corners. So actually, let me fill in the stairways and that'll probably make this a little easier. The stairways, I'm going to do more of a purple color like they were on the other map. All right, so does everyone have a good depiction of the room at this point? A good visualization of it?
Yes.
Okay. So pink boxes again are the depressions, which are described to you as public bath basins. The blues are the large columns with the ornately carved beast depictions. Green represent walls around the area. The narrow area where you are is a raised galley above the main gallery, as is this one on the west side, but this one, the arches are filled, so then hence there is no opening into them. But it still is raised 10 feet up the floor, and both of them have a set of stairs on the north and south. Adjacent to each stairwell is the entrance to the domed rooms that you can see from where you are. Presumably, you can't really see into the ones that are north and south of you, but you presume they're identical to what you can see across the galley. All right. You now have a description. Kelly, are you on mute again?
No, sorry. I was slightly distracted when multitasking. Apparently my concentration is fading faster than usual.
Well, what about the rest of you, brothers? Fekish, what are you
Yeah.
guys doing? Are you just watching them from the outside through the arches, or are you gonna go come check out the area?
I will come and check out the area.
Yeah, I mean, if they're given the all clear and it's good to go, yeah, I'll definitely move up.
Yeah,
Well, I don't want to say they're necessarily given the all clear yet. I'll let them determine
Okay.
what they've conveyed to you so far.
Okay.
I mean, you're in view, but the details that you guys are seeing is definitely not as much as the ones outside are.
Do you have a text description that you could paste into chat for me to read real quick? And I think I will be able to figure out what's what with your color coded shapes.
That's probably a very good idea. Give me just a second. No, not there.
okay.
Almost there.
Yep.
All right, there you go. Yep. Did I double up on one? Yeah, looks like, oh well.
Yeah, you did, but I figured it out. Okay.
I only clicked it once, but no.
Gremlins. It's the pet gremlins, always. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna turn to Rodrith and Mizram and I guess Fekish since he's wandered in and just kind of shrug and then see Mizram's still on my shoulder, correct?
Is?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So I'm going to
Sport that weasel. Sport that weasel.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna look at the others in here with me and then I'm just gonna shrug and I'm gonna fly down to the main floor level because flying is more fun than taking the stairs. So yeah, I'm just gonna like fly up and over the railing and just kind of. Mr. is just kind of like sitting on my shoulder, like, where are we going? What are we exploring next? Is anything happening? What interesting things are we going to discover now?
That remains to be seen now, doesn't it?
Yeah, if they
Mhm.
step out of sight, Varric would definitely start following
just-
after the wizard.
Just to give you a visual image, I actually got one of those British old World War II flying scarves wrapped around my neck and some goggles, flying goggles on.
So yeah, and then I'm just gonna kind of fly around and see what jumps out at me.
Be careful how you
Um,
state that.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. I mean, I'm only half expecting, hostile creatures to jump out at me, but I mean, something's gonna happen. But if we all just stay up there on the gallery and wait for something to happen, something might not happen for a very long time because, yeah, I'm being as cautious as I can and trying not to touch anything. But I'm also wondering what traps are in this building.
So say
Just
at the
given the
large
general
amount
nature
of
of
shadowy dice
everything.
that just got rolled.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that shadowy dice could indicate.
As a DM, you would know.
As a player, we already know.
Something's happening. Whether it's coming on screen shortly or not, something is happening.
Maybe something good, maybe something bad.
Something bad. We'll never know.
And it's definitely something interesting, whether it's fun interesting or Chinese curse interesting, remains to be seen.
But the big question always is it relevant?
It might not be. It might not be fully relevant to us right now. It might just be something happening off screen that may or may not show up.
So meanwhile, as you float over the edge of the galley into the gallery with the much larger vaulted ceiling, you in particular, Kaylee, have a sense of feeling exposed that you really don't like. That being said, there's nothing else particularly triggering you or getting your hairs to stand on end.
Okay.
You don't really perceive any additional details beyond what's already been described. It seems for the most part that this area has been abandoned. It does seem quite clear that these 4 basins were once used as bathing tubs. You're pretty sure of that because you actually do see the drains in the center of each one of them, and they're good sized
Okay.
drains. They're probably about 2.5 feet in diameter. So, they stand out, and it makes it pretty apparent that these were once filled with water or at least collected water and drained it.
Okay.
But other than that, there really doesn't seem to be anything else of interest from what you can see from your current vantage point.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna sorry, my hands are busy crocheting, so I'm not moving my token. I can undo that if that's necessary, but I'm just kind of floating around and peeking in corners, and what are those domed structures in each of the corners of the room, and does anything, either grab my attention or literally jump out at me as I'm wandering around this room with a weasel on my shoulder?
Okay, so while she is doing that and bouncing around the area and presumably
Can I ask a
covering some
question quick?
ground, that's what I was going to ask. What else is everyone doing? Go ahead.
Was her thing, was she looking, that you said those were pools, right?
They're empty pools.
Empty pools.
What makes it obvious that they were pools or basins for water is the fact that she can now see drains.
Oh,
Where did the water come from?
that's a good question. Where did the water go?
Well,
And is
water
there
went down the
anything-
drains.
Water went down a hole. I want to inspect the drains.
Are you jumping down or are you climbing down?
Yeah, how deep are the pools actually?
You're up top.
Yeah, you're
There's
still
a
on the
10-foot
not
gallery.
even-
drop.
I'm
There's a
not even,
10-foot drop from where you are to the floor level, where the basins are sunk even deeper.
Yeah, so where you guys are currently standing on the galleys adjacent to the main gallery, that is 10 feet above the main floor. So you would
Oh.
either have to take the stairs that are the purple boxes on either side of the galley, or hop down 10 feet, which really isn't that big of a deal for you guys. Then the
Yeah.
depressions are about 8 feet deep, probably 6 to 8
This-
feet deep.
sloped or square?
Sloped on the long ends and flush on the north-south ends.
Varric hops down.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop down too. Oh, sorry.
I shall walk.
I'm gonna do
I'll take
this one.
stairs.
I'm gonna hop down. I'm gonna do this one.
Are you gonna do a superhero landing or are you gonna? just not
Well,
so
this is just
gracefully?
we're tall, so this is just like a pivot my hand on the ledge and hop down and then pivot my. And
Yeah.
These are
That's not
dinky.
even that because there's no real ledge there. It's kind of just like kind of crouch down and pivot and drop a little bit. I mean, it's
Kind
not a
of do
step
and
for
go
you
and-
guys, but it's also not anything that requires any major feat of athletics.
Cool.
I mean, you two might even be able to free jump it back up. Definitely no one else, but two of you might have a chance at it. All right, so I have Haig down there. Varric, are you following him down to the same one, or are you going to check out one of the other ones?
I'll check out one of the other ones.
Okay. All right, Dan, you go ahead and roll for Haig. For Varric, I'm also going to roll a investigation check.
Let's see, skills.
You guys both do very, very well. So you both happen to notice that the drain caps are loose. They're about 2.5 feet in diameter.
Mhm.
So they're a little tight for you guys, but you probably would be able to fit down them if it were open.
Oh, are
Interesting.
there any other doors in the room?
The three other doors that you are aware of, the doorways that are opposite the ones you came in, are blocked with sand. There are the 4 other rooms, which Kaylee is currently investigating, and I'll get to her in just a second. But other than those, let's see, what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 potential entry points, that is it. So Kaylee, meanwhile, while you guys are down there and searching around, and I got to remember to update. So you're bouncing around the room, you're looking around each one. As you come on down here, and you get a view into the southeast room, you notice a couple of inanimate skeletons standing on guard.
Ooh, battle time.
Ooh. Okay then.
Do you share that information at all?
As I approach,
Well, I doubt she's going, "We got skeletons!"
I don't know. She could.
I
She
doubt
could,
she
right?
would. Right, she could, but I doubt she would.
I could, but I don't. As I approach cautiously, because the minute I see them, I'm going to start to slow down. Do they show any signs of animating?
Not that you see.
Okay.
It would be
Miz, are you
fair
still
to
on-
say that you think they are waiting for something. Whether they are
Okay.
watching or waiting or need to be triggered, you don't know.
Okay.
But they do not
Miz, are
appear
you
to
still
be
on my
active,
shoulder?
but already appear, they're standing up. They have swords held up. So they're obviously not. They haven't fallen apart. They're, there's some
There's-
kind of
There's
something
some kind
keeping
of
them
magic
together.
involved.
Something is keeping them assembled and upright.
Either there's magic just keeping them articulated and upright as display pieces, or there's additional animation magic that has not triggered them to move yet.
Correct.
Mizram, are you still on my shoulder?
Yep, I am still on your shoulder, flying around with
All right.
you, enjoying myself.
How are you reacting to these skeletons that we see?
Roll a perception. See if he even notices them at the same time you do, or if you have to bring them to his attention.
Give a second.
Because quite honestly, with the weasel incarnation, he's kind of being somewhat distracted by visions of God. I would love to go swimming. But he
I
does.
will.
But he does notice the skeletons at the same time that you do.
Okay. Yeah. How are you reacting? What is your?
I
Initial-
will look at them, and then I'll look at you, and then point to make sure that we are seeing the same thing, and then
Yep.
and then I will natter my teeth up and down like a skeleton would do.
Okay.
Oh,
and
like
then
the teeth chattering.
I'm going to indicate just kind of indicate, silently asking, are we alerting the others or are we approaching?
I know there's stuff going on, guys. Sorry. I'm away from my phone.
You're good, man.
Well, what is Mrs.'s opinion? Do we alert the others or do we approach first?
I look at you and then look at the Glyph brothers, and then shook my shoulder like to say, well, you know what's going to happen if we leave them out, kind of mentality.
All right. I am going to cautiously approach. I am still flying, but I am approaching like step by step, kind of like a very slow, cautious walking speed.
Air tiptoe.
Yeah, basically take a step, wait to see what happens. Take another step, wait to see what happens. But I am not actually touching the floor.
Gotcha. All right. So are you moving your token or am I?
You can move my token. My hands are a little busy. And I was supposed to check.
All right.
some more
Well,
technical
as you get to
checking.
about here to get a better view of them,
Yep.
they do notice you.
Okay. And that entails. They were simply in a ready guard position. Do they move and?
Yeah, they begin at this point.
hostile?
At this point, they basically look directly at you, and we're going to begin. Well, go ahead and everyone roll initiative.
Booyah!
As soon as they start, if they start moving and looking like they're going to, draw weapons, I'm going to backpedal.
I would presume as much, but we've got to follow initiative order now that
Yep.
they've noticed you.
Yep, I'm going to backpedal and probably just give a whistle to alert the others that, hey, I need your attention over here.
And once again, your dexterity proves to be a boon, Kaylee, because you will get
I get to go before them.
You will get to react as soon as you see them looking in your direction, or I should say pointing their avoided eye sockets in your general vicinity.
Okay, then I will move away and probably on an upward diagonal towards the other end of the room as a single, just whatever my base flying speed is, and give a whistle that, oi, we got something in this corner.
Hold on, I gotta. I guess at this point, I should probably fill in the walls so you can see where you can and can't go.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start my whistle here in the corner so that they know where I need them to pay attention to. And then I'm going to, oops. How is it? Okay. So I'm probably going to end up over there, ish. I'm basically making a diagonal move as far as I can go in one move action, and I'm going to have my bow out and be ready to shoot at the skeletons if I decide it's actually necessary.
Okay. Now, before we continue with this, I should actually hold you up for a moment, but all right. So in the time that you were flying around,
Mm-hmm.
Haig and Varric had both discovered the drains that were down there.
Yep.
Did you guys open those drains?
I don't think so. Not without, consulting anyone else. I wouldn't just unpulled one or anything
I
like
would
that.
have. I would have.
Of course.
That's kind
And
of
I-
what I suspected. All right, so. Hey, you do at least notice that the drain is very loose. It's easy enough for it to be removed from its current. It's actually just kind of sitting on top rather loosely. It's not even a fitted drain. Yeah, interesting. Okay. So you're looking down the drain, the open drain, at the moment that Kaeli runs into the skeletons or notices the skeletons. Correction. Not the first time that she notices it flying around, but as she's approaching, they come up and activate about the same time that you're kind of looking down the drain and say, what's down here? So just so we know that how everything is syncing up at this point.
Okay.
So Kaeli, you're obviously not screaming. Are you doing anything to get anyone else's attention? Because obviously at least the two of them are distracted. And well, moving backwards, they probably see you coming back, especially if you have your bow drawn. Not so much the two Goliaths, but Redreth and Fekish.
Yeah. I did whistle as soon as I noticed the skeletons
Yes.
appearing to look in my direction. I did whistle to get people's attention, and I want to say we've been traveling enough that that I do that.
They know you're calling
when I want you to look at something.
The sneaky person is making noise. Pay attention.
Exactly. So
you might, Alex, you might actually have to come up with that for content. What the whistle that you do is.
I cannot whistle, and I do not have instruments with which to imitate it. So otherwise, I would
something like
it's something. I
might
try to,
or more owl-like.
Sorry.
I suppose I could go looking for sound bites and find something, but not this instant.
No, not this instant.
And
that is your homework for next session.
Okay, that is my homework for next session, is to find one or more sound bites of my signal whistles.
I'd like that. Thank you.
I will attempt to remember to do this.
All right. So with that being said, yes, Goliaths, your attention has been drawn. Kaylee is obviously, and as you look up, you see her floating backwards with bow drawn, pointing to the southeast.
I do want to make a quick note. Does Mizram have time to react or and potentially jump off my shoulder at this point? Or I mean, when he gets to his turn,
Presumably,
we can,
since
say
he
that that's what
noticed it, presumably since he noticed them at the same time you did, and you discussed, or communicated in some degree that, okay, yeah, we know they're both there, and you're telling him that you're moving in. Yes, you would have given him an opportunity to get off before you actually started closing it.
Okay.
So he's not going to be able to react to their motion because unfortunately he does not have initiative order. But he could have gotten off when you first started closing it.
Okay.
So is that what you're doing, Ms.? You're staying on her shoulder, or are you?
It depends on if our regular sneaky person gives me a look to say, "Hey, for shooting and fighting, I need you off my shoulder." If she gives me a look like you need to get down, then I would have got down.
So,
Yeah, I don't think she's telling you that you had to get down. I think she did give you an indication that she's closing in and giving you the option to go to another spot.
It's just an option. Do you want to stay? And because you know that if hostilities break out, she's not going to be up close and personal. She's going to run.
Oh
so
no,
she can shoot.
That is fine. I am gonna stay in weasel form, sit on your shoulder, because I know by the time I do anything, the Goliath would have took care of it, or the wizard.
Okay, so you're good to stay up on my shoulder as I approach, and then you have no problem with the fact that I've flown off. Okay, good. I just wanted to give you the opportunity before we continued with initiative to make that choice.
No,
gang, I want you to note here, we may be witnessing the first ranger with a familiar.
Yeah.
Hey, familiars are fun, especially
Yes, they
when
are.
especially when they're played by a second player, so that you don't have to manage two characters at the same time.
Oh yes, that can be a lot of fun. It's hard to find people that like to do that kind of stuff, but usually the ones that are interested in doing so do great jobs because they really get into that role.
Yeah. So, all right. So that is my turn. It is apparently now Skeleton 12's turn.
Yes, it is. And that would be one of the ones down below. And let's see, there's this 30. So 5, 10. It's about as far as he gets to go. And he does have a short bow. And needless to say, he has seen you. So he's going to attempt to make an attack. Ooh, and it looks like he hit you with his short bow. For a whole 4 points of damage. So he nicks you pretty good in your shoulder, not your steadying shoulder though. And with that, it's pretty close to Mizram, so he sees the arrow kind of sink right next to where he's hanging out on the neck and on your neck, and like thinking maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
I will look at the arrow, pull it out of there, and then I will use my druid ability to instantly heal her. If I can just get my dice just right.
Gotta love that additional actions to have built-in healing.
And there you go.
Perfect.
And you get 1 temporary hit point as well. There
Oh,
you go.
nice.
A little bit of a boost to go with it.
Yeah. So yeah, and you will she will thank you in her silent way.
And I will
She
give you a
certainly
weasel from that.
appreciates it.
Okay, so quite literally, Haig, a arrow just whizzes right over your head as it guides its way towards Kaolali. And you see exactly where it comes from. And you see skeleton, and you're not happy. Now, most anyone else probably would not be able to see the skeleton because of the depth of the pit, but because of your height as a Goliath, the edge of the pit is probably about at level with your eye, maybe more like your mouth. So yeah, he probably hasn't seen you down below in the pit, but you got a very clear view of his knee at eye level.
Oh, I am unmuted. Sweet. I'm gonna go get me some skeletons.
Now, keep in mind, they have no meat to chew off them.
Ev, cookies out. The puppy just went outside. Hold on. I'm away from traveling distance. I went into the house to get a drink.
Okay, no problem. We only got about 20 minutes left.
And probably all right. Oh, not bad. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm going to have you do a bit of an athletics check just to make sure that you don't fumble across jumping out of the bathing pool.
Sure.
Beautiful. So you stride right over it. You probably just, kind of do it. It's a running jump, so it's easy enough for you. So you hop out of there. If skeletons could grimace, there would definitely be a look of shock in his face as a Goliath pops up out of the ground and comes flying at him. Go ahead and make your attack. Your luck.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Bam.
That looks like a solid hit.
Bam. Second swing. Oh, swing and a miss, probably.
Oh, you don't have
Yeah,
target select.
probably. Mm.
Second swing was a 9, Keith.
Okay, yeah, but you didn't have target selected, so.
Oh, I forgot to do that. Forgot.
Yeah.
We switched over
Yeah,
on
it's a
Jim.
miss.
We
So that one was definitely a miss, but yeah, let me do this one. This was 12, right?
forgot to do that. We switched over to Owl Bear Rodeo in Jim's game. And
There's no
go
targeting
do-
there.
there's no targeting, yeah, it's all just open game. Yeah, so then I gotta drag. Oh, you got okay.
Yep, I took
You
care
got the
of it.
damage.
Yep.
Okay. So then in third swing coming in, make sure, hold on. You see the combat tractor. I did click and get targets 12. Okay, good. Okay,
That's enough.
there we go.
Oh,
Minimal damage.
enough to take
But-
him down. So it took you
Sweet.
3 hits, but you did crush him in one attack.
Sweet.
Pummeled. Just pummeled.
And if you could see Kaoli's expression, you would see that she definitely is quite pleased that you were able to get retribution for the attack on her.
Sweet.
And engage so quickly.
Yeah, she's quite pleased with this.
All right, so that ends your turn, correct?
Correct. Show Redrith up.
All right, so at this point, Skeleton 11 is able to close in on you, and he's now taken a definite interest in you. And he's going to go for the short sword attack. Oh, did he? Did he? Yes, he lands a hit. These are effective skeletons. Amazing. Ooh, and he actually leaves a scratch on the Goliath. Haig is not happy. No, no, not at all. Not at all. But to make matters worse, is he showing on the screen? No, he's not even showing on the screen because no, he is. Okay. As you fly across to engage this assailant, the drain cap that you had removed suddenly comes into play. Why? Because something comes out of it.
Cool.
I was hoping.
It actually had been waiting over right underneath your brother's drain pipe. But since you opened yours first, it took him a minute to kind of fly on down and come out. And you've seen one of these before. You know exactly
No.
what it is. It's a rat.
Enough. Not falling for the banana in the tailpipe.
It's a what?
It's a rat.
Ah,
Wraith.
wraith. Yeah, we fought them.
And he is able to come up behind you and flank you relative to the skeleton,
Ooh.
which means he's going to unload on Haig. Let's see, is that it? All right. And it's going for the
Good swing.
paralysis attack or the drain attack. Let's
Oh
see.
boy.
It hits you. Ooh, 26 points of damage. And
Holy cow.
yep. And
That hurts.
Constitution save. Looks like you made. Oh. Oh, you only rolled a 3. I thought you rolled a 19. Crap.
What does that mean?
Or your hit
Life
point
drain.
maximum is reduced by 26 points until you finish a
Whoa.
long rest.
Yeah, bro. That fucking those things whack you.
That hurts.
Solid whacking.
So
I'm gonna give out the ooh.
all right. I think that'll accurately represent it. I'll be back in 1 minute, guys. Step away for a sec.
No worries.
Stephanie, you knew I had this morning.
I know.
And you're interrupting me in the middle of my session. All I have is 820 on.
You want me to bring that change?
Cat count quick before you go.
Okay. Sid's in bed, no sleeping. It's mid-morning now.
There's Amber.
There's this one, where's Amber? That's the one I need to buy.
Amber's up on the printer. We're good. Hush. There's Ollie. I got Kira. Okay. Closing the store. Oh, I muted the wrong thing. Anyway, okay, I'm back.
Very good.
All right. So yeah, I indicated that you have minus 26 temporary points, so we remember exactly how many you're down. I think that'll work right, but no, probably won't.
Fantasy
actually.
Grounds just popped up as something. I have no idea what it's doing. My computer's going nuts. Good thing I'm using Zoom on my phone.
Well,
Sorry,
hopefully-
didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
but,
you didn't interrupt. I want to know when you guys are having client issues.
But it was a dialogue I'd never seen with a logo that I'd never seen, but it was claiming to be Fantasy Grounds, and then my client just crashed. So I will attempt to log back in, but I have no idea.
You
What
just
just
got
happened?
bounced too from my side.
Okay.
So, all right, well, we can continue until the next round anyway, and I think we're probably going to be done with today's session. So yeah, let's try at least get through the rest of this round. All right, so next, Varric, you are up. And since you did hear the whistle also, you noticed what happened and you saw this thing come up and flank your brother.
Yep.
And you can tell he heard him. He heard him.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit. I'm gonna move my 30 feet and misty step the rest of the way to my brother, or to the wraith behind my brother in a flanking position.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm actually going to only have you go 25 feet so that you're
Okay.
not going into the next basin. So you're
Yep.
going to misty step from there over to. All right. So where exactly do you want me to put you? Next to your brother and adjacent to the wraith, or do you want to have the
Yeah,
wraith
right
between
there.
you and him?
Right there. Yep. Wraith between us.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm gonna swing, smite.
Okay. So let me drag this on. So the wraith is selected as your target.
Using the remainder of my level 2 spells on those smites.
Okay. It looks like you have all your level 2 spells.
Well, the Misty Step should have burned one.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so.
Yep. So the
Well, yeah, if
last
you're-
two
Oh, wait a minute. Misty Step, is that a reaction?
bonus action.
Bonus, okay.
Yep.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Spells level 2. There it is. Okay. All right, yeah, there's no cast thing, so I wouldn't have been able to add it. All right, so I'm gonna tick off one of the second level spell slots.
Mhm.
And then branding smite. How do I use that one?
Nope, this is just a regular smite. So
Okay,
regular divine smite at level 2. And
there it is. Okay. So you would actually need well. Do I need one for each casting level that he would use it at, Alex?
Yes.
yes, yep. So if I only have one level 2 left, I can only do one at a level 2.
Right, but I'm saying in order to get the effect of casting it at
The,
level
the
2,
actions on the effects on the actions tab. Yeah. You would need the way I believe it's set up. The way that I've usually seen most people set it up, you will need one for each spell level because there's a different number of dice. There are other ways to set it up where you could get away with just one total, but the way it's set up, you need one for every level.
and it also appears it would have a different effect too, since it's an undead or
Undead.
fiend. So, okay. So what we're gonna do first is have you attack with which weapon?
The hammer first.
Okay, so. Where is it?
And I only get one swing because I use my bonus action to Misty Step over there. Because
Gotcha.
that's usually my offhand is my bonus. So yeah, one solid smite with the hammer.
A good smoting.
Yep.
All right, there's the roll. And that was good enough for a hit. So now we will add the smite effect, correct?
Mhm. You should have extra D8 for the undead and an extra for the level 2.
Back up here, find light hammer. And then what? 2 more D8 damage, correct?
Yep.
And it's all on the Wraith. All right, so, well, you definitely got him back for what he did to your brother, but he's still up. He does appear to be weakened, however, so that should be encouraging.
Yeah,
With
and that's
that,
my turn.
yeah, since you would use your bonus action for the Misty Step, that appears to be the end of your turn. You have him flanked. He and Skeleton 11 still have your brother flanked, but Fekish is now up. And Fekish actually has a pretty good view of you and the Wraith from his position. However, the column kind of obscures his view of both Haig and Skeleton 11.
How big are the squares?
5 foot.
So it's within range. Whoop, wait a minute. What did I do? That's a red dress. I don't want red dress. I want. How am I keep doing that?
I'm not sure
Which one am I looking for? The Wraith?
Yeah, the Wraith is in between the two brothers.
There, I think I've got them target. Yeah, there, I've got them targeted. Spiritual weapon. Hits.
Nice.
Damage. Huh, it didn't calculate damage. Or did I roll the wrong guy?
No, it did calculate damage. It applied 9 more points of damage to him, but why do I get the feeling that there should be more because he's undead? Let me double check something. It should have auto calculated that, but it might not have.
No, I didn't see damage. Oh, I did see damage on my side now. Okay, sorry. Took a
It
little
might
bit.
have just taken a minute or two for it to show up. So
Lag. We hates it.
okay. Feel free to say me anytime if you know differently, Alex. Spiritual weapon. Bonus action, you can move the weapon up to create attacking weapon, take whatever form you choose. Clerics usually associated with mace and at higher levels. For every 2 slot. Okay, interesting. No, it does not do additional damage to undead. Surprisingly enough. All right, still a decent hit, but I believe that's all you can do this turn,
Correct.
other than move. If you want.
Correct.
Yeah, you probably have a good vantage point up on the galley there. So,
Yep.
all right, Billy Joe is not
So
actually here, nor are the camels.
stupid camels.
And that means we would actually begin round 2 at this point with Kaylee and Mizram up to make their actions. However, we are 2 minutes short of the top of the hour. So this seems like a good place to call it until next session, unless you guys want to and have time to finish the combat. So what is your collective vote?
I'm fine with a pause here.
Yeah, I'm
Get
fine. It's a good
Redriff
spot.
back in.
Get him out of the way and we'll reconvene.
Yeah, I'm okay either way.
And then
Everyone
hopefully
wants to
Jim
do
will
it.
be able to be here so that we can finish up the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good with stopping here.
Okay.
I'm actually having more.
You're having a rough
tech
morning, aren't you,
problems.
Alex?
I'm just having more tech issues, and I don't understand why.
Oh, well, yeah, that can, well, yeah, it'll give you time. When do you run your game tomorrow?
Yeah. I don't currently run any games. They fell apart around the holidays and have not recovered.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, moving will do that, though. I took the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah,
To-
exactly. And why I'm paranoid about missing any sessions on our side, because I want to be the reason for us falling apart. But we've kept together pretty damn good through what, 2 holiday seasons now?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
at least. I think it might have been a little longer than that.
Well, I think we were
the
still
first
doing
campaign.
Fandover for the last one.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this campaign survived through 2 holidays at least. All right, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and kill the recording, and that's it for session 56.
66, I think.
Yeah, I keep-
Right out.
Something in there.
Okay.
No, it is 66.
Thanks for the gig, guys. I'll catch you. in
Hell
2 weeks.
yeah.
All right,
All
brother.
Talk to everybody in a couple weeks.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
Sounds
all.
good, guys. All right, we'll
See
see
ya.
ya.
Catch